As it should be. I'm good. Thank you, Tracy.
Yes, now it's on.
All righty. I had a tech moment there.
Good evening. Today is Monday, January 8th, 2024. Happy New Year. Time is 6 p.m. My name is Kathy Sizemore. I'm Chair of the Community Services Commission, and I'm calling this meeting to order. We'll begin our meeting with the flag salute led by Commissioner Castro. Please rise.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you for joining us this evening. We will go ahead and start with our roll call, led by our Commission Secretary, Tracy Tomnes.
Hi. Commissioner Castro,
Here.
Commissioner Hawks,
Here.
Commissioner Kingsburg,
Here.
Vice Chair Audi,
Here.
and Chairperson Sizemore.
Here.
All present, thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight, everybody. It's great to be back with everyone here in the commission after our holidays. We do have, let's see, do we have any public comments?
No, we do not.
All right, thank you. It looks like we have a presentation on special events, a spring update.
Yes. So I'll be giving our overview of just our upcoming events for the spring. I'm just going to give the presentation from here rather than jumping back and forth.
Perfect, thank you, Tracy.
Okay, so for January, it's a little bit of a quiet month, but we will be celebrating Day of Service beginning on Monday, January 15th. So this year, the city is partnering with Community Mission of Hope for a week-long food and donation drive. So beginning on Monday, January 15th, we will have a collection bin located at the Welcome Center, just adjacent to City Hall, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We will also have some flyers available to promote volunteer opportunities. That way the community can kind of get some information on how they can give back in the future, while Day of Service itself can kind of be a mild celebration. And then throughout the rest of the week, from the 16th through the 21st, the Welcome Center will continue to be open, accepting donations. These can be non-perishable food items as well as household hygiene items. And if you visit the Community Mission of Hope's website, they have a full list of acceptable donations. Then heading into March, we'll start with our special games, which will be held on Saturday, March 16th at Great Oak High School. We are currently accepting applications to participate as both an athlete and a volunteer. For this event, we do accept high school volunteers to be paired up with the athletes to act as their buddy throughout the event, and we also accept adult volunteers who can oversee our variety of games. Then on Friday, March 22nd, we will be hosting the Teen Egg Hunt. This will be our second time hosting it at the Sports Ranch at Somers Bend. This event begins at 8 o'clock, and it's an opportunity for teens to earn community service hours while also maybe walking away with a prize, such as a gift card to a local restaurant, a surfboard. I like to offer a wide range of items. And then at the end of March, we will host the annual Easter egg hunt, which, as most of you know, this is a simultaneous event taking place at Temecula Hills Park, Pat Birdsall Sports Park, and Harveston Community Park. So this egg hunt is open for children ages 0 to 12 years old. At each park, we have 5 different age groups, including a special needs zone for all ages. In April, we will be hosting a combination of our Earth and Arbor Day celebration with an open house at the Margarita Recreation Center. So with this event, we'll kind of be celebrating Earth and Arbor Day within the park, working with our Public Works Department to plant some trees in honor of the event, and also allowing the public to experience an open house of the MRC, meet some of the staff and the instructors. And then the following week, we'll be hosting the Community Services Expo, which is another chance to meet all of our contract instructors and learn about all the different divisions within the Community Services Department. Lastly, we'll be wrapping up spring with our May events. We will be hosting the signature Temecula Rod Run on Friday, May 3rd and May 4th. Registration for car participants will begin on January 30th at the end of this month. The following week, we'll open up our applications to participate as either a sponsor or a vendor. Then Culture Fest will be taking place on Saturday, May 18th. This year, we will mainly be focusing on hosting the event at the Civic Center and Town Square Park, while down the street at Sam Hicks Monument Park, they'll be celebrating Japan as part of Culture Day. So still incorporating both locations, but the focus of our event will be held right here in town. And then lastly, we will have the Memorial Day concert. This year, the event will be held at the Old Town Temecula Community Theater. It's still a free event. However, you do need to go online to get your ticket. So right now, we do have select tickets held back for some of our dignitaries. So I'll be reaching out to all of our commissions and city council members to see if anyone's interested, but don't worry, there's still space. And that is my update for the spring. I'm happy to answer any questions or hear any feedback.
Okay, thank you very much, Tracy, I appreciate that. Do any of the commissioners have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
About the Memorial Day concert, I enjoyed going that. In the past, I remember it's right here in front of the City Hall. Is there a reason that we're moving into the Old Town Theater?
So mainly for this event, when we do invite the symphony, sometimes with the holidays, it's tricky to kind of guarantee our attendance and also having the production company come to set up. So we wanted to take advantage of the lovely theater we have, so we were only moving the Memorial Day concert there. We will still continue to have the symphony perform at the front steps for Veterans Day.
Thank you.
Vice Chair, did you have a question? Okay, you look like you were touching your buttons. I was trying to be attentive. All right, thank you. Commissioner Hawks asked the one question I have. There's just something, I hate to use the word magical, but there's just something special about having the concert on the front steps.
Well, I will give you a heads up. We are going to be relocating our summer concert series, so it's kind of a give and take.
Okay.
So we will have some more concerts taking place in front of City Hall, which is another reason of moving the symphony to the
Okay.
theater.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate your presentation. I appreciate that you have us informed of what we have to look forward to.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I'm going to assume that we'll have one here to share with us the summer.
Yes,
presentation?
yes. So that'll be, as kind of expected, we will be having more division presentations. So as we get closer to the summer, we'll make sure to provide another recap of what's to come.
Thank you very much. I appreciate, and I appreciate you giving us some dates, such as the date for registering for Rod Run, because I know that's going to be a question people start asking. So thank you.
And
All right.
then I believe next month's staff presentation will be with Yvette presenting about the opening of the MRC.
Great, thank you. I look forward to hearing that, as I'm sure my fellow commissioners will look forward to hearing that too. Division reports. Let's start with our recreation report. We have Lisa Linton here with us tonight. Welcome, Lisa. It's always a pleasure to have you join us.
Hi, it's good to see you guys. All right, I'm going to present the first part of the division reports. So it looks like December had more than 1,000 visitors to the pool, and they completed 4 training courses over the month of December. Aquatics is currently hiring until filled all of their lifeguard positions in anticipation of the busy summer season, and then also having the addition of the MRC pool. The updated restrooms and lockers and showers at the CRC are now open and fully functioning. And they also completed the repairs to the heater for the CRC pool. They're looking forward to the new programs at the MRC pool with aqua yoga, Pilates, and a prenatal aqua class is kind of what they have so far. They also held a mini leadership academy over the Christmas break for several of their team members. They worked on general leadership and also specific concepts related to aquatics. And they also worked on some rescue skills and general swimming skills. Contract classes held 165 classes through the month of December and had over 2,000 participants in a variety of interests. And then we also held 14 winter break camps and had more than 600 participants doing sports, cooking, science, art, and that's it. The cheer clinics for the month of December. And then the CRC updated some of their lobby seating and added some new vending machines that everybody seems to love. And the skate park has scooter jam scheduled for this weekend, Saturday the 13th, and they'll have music, refreshments, prizes, and they're in partnership with Neighborhood Drop-In. Our teen zone had more than 400 participants doing holiday crafts, baking, and games. That's it for that one. And then the homeless outreach had 96 street exits and 267 year to date. The team conducted outreach throughout the month with swag and core and with focusing on Tower Plaza Shopping Center and then also the bike trail. The team completed their monthly collaborative meeting with swag core and code enforcement this last month. And library was busy with more than 14,000 participants visiting for library services and in-person programming, including a magic show and crafts. December displays were Chill Out with a Book, and then they, of course, celebrated Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, and they're looking forward to the pro football trivia night.
If I can jump in on that slide really quickly.
Yes.
The dog in the picture with Santa is the service dog in training that Rosie is raising. She's a volunteer puppy raiser, so that is her dog, Carolyn 2, I believe is her name.
She's so cute. All right. Sports has full capacity at all their fields and hockey rinks. Baseball, softball are beginning spring tryouts, and then we'll get their field allocations. Soccer All-Stars finished up with their tournament this last month, and then basketball is currently in mid-season. All of the adult kickball, softball, and basketball has registration coming up in this next week or so in January. And then we've heard special events completed their holiday bike tour and New Year's grape drop with over 6,000 attendees, and the Welcome Center saw more than 300 visitors and walk-ins. The theater had their most wonderful time of the year with welcomed performances from the Christmas Carol and the Nutcracker Ballet with more than 6,000 in attendance. And then the Merc continued with country live, jazz, speakeasy, and classics, and the Brazilian Latin jazz. The classics had a sold-out event with a candlelight classics performance. All throughout the month, they had 12 performances and over 300 participants. And that concludes the first section of our report.
Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate having you here with us tonight.
Thank
and
you.
for giving us that very thorough report. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and start with comments and questions from our commissioners, and we will start with Commissioner Castro.
I don't have any questions, but thank you for the report. It was very informative.
Thank you. Commissioner Kingsburg?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Lisa. Appreciate it. I found the Leadership Academy for the Aquatics to be interesting, and I think that's great. It's kind of that workforce development training, you know, for our own potential employees, and I think that's really important across all disciplines. Since it was mentioned, I hadn't been to the New Year's Eve event in a few years, and was able to go. I came by early, saw Erica in the parking structure, and she made sure we got in okay. Had a little trouble with an elevator, but that all got worked out quickly. But anyway, no, what I wanted to say was that the grape drop just seems to be obviously a huge part of our events and our culture, and I was just so impressed. We had our 2 young grandchildren visiting, and we got them out early, and you know, we were out of there by 8 or so we didn't stay late. But just the number of people in Old Town, you know, basically from 6 o'clock on, it was very, very impressive. So kudos to you guys for another successful event. And then my final thing is it's a bit of a question. It's meant to be a little bit lighthearted. I know the word pickleball, once that comes up, that can sort of throw the department a bit. But how are the pickleball wars going out there? Because I asked, it came up at the last meeting. It was mentioned about the facility over off Winchester Road, which now has been open around I think, 6 or 7 months, and I've actually been frequenting that facility myself for pickleball. And I'm kind of curious, has there been, has it alleviated some of the pressure to some extent on our courts and our classes? Are the huge waiting lists still for the classes?
So Lisa could speak to the classes, and I see she's
Wonderful.
nodding. Overall, and I don't want to jinx us here, the pickleball contingent has been fairly quiet for the last several months. So I do think they're enjoying the indoor facility, even though it's not particularly large. I believe it's only 4 courts. But knock on wood, it's actually been pretty calm in pickleball land. I imagine that will heat up as we get closer to breaking ground on the new complex. Lisa, did you want to talk about the pickleball classes?
Yeah, we still have quite a few wait lists on it. We did some tweaking this winter, spring, and combined the beginning class with the intermediate, and that seems to be working out really nicely. The beginning class sort of mellowed out a little bit, so, but Ladder League is still very, very popular. We're running it 2 nights a week with wait lists. And then I know he has plans for his summer, fall to kind of try a couple new things as well. So it's been really nice and smooth.
Thank you guys for that update. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask a pickleball question. So we won this pickleball set, and I have it set that when it warms up in spring, I'm going to take a pickleball class. Now, you're saying there's a wait list for those classes? Are they something you want to sign up early for?
We always recommend to sign up as early as possible for any of the classes, especially the popular ones. Most of our regular players kind of are in right now, but we're pretty booked on the class all the way through, I would say March, April.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and go online and,
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely, even if it's filled, get on the wait list. Because if there are cancellations, then if you're on the wait list, you just move up if you can get
why didn't I figure that there'd be a huge wait list for that? Okay. I did take the paddles out and I broke the rules because I'm the mom and I played pickleball in the house. There is something very satisfying about the sound of hitting that ball. So I want to make sure I get in that class. All right, Commissioner Hawks?
Thank you, Lisa, for the report, and I agree with Commissioner Kingsburg that the grape drop was a hit. And finally, I saw it for the first time. So I want to thank the staff for putting that together. It looks different with the crane out in the middle, but it just, I see the crowd, I was in the crowd, so just see how wonderful to celebrate New Year with the community, so thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Adi?
Thanks, Lisa. Great having you here. I actually got a chance to go swim at the rec center over the break, and all the additions are wonderful in the locker rooms and stuff, and the new showers. I remember when, but really was great, and looking forward to the new facility opening up. I happened to wander by one day, and Nino was out front, and he was kind enough to give me a private tour after the tour we had on the opening, but the facility's looking great. Can't wait to see that open. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I just had 2 questions. Did I understand that correctly, 96 street exits just during December?
Can we pull that slide back up for homeless outreach, Jello?
Because that just seemed like
That's
a
too many
lot.
for just December, yeah, so I just wanted to
Okay.
read back through that and see what we had there. Oh, wow. I am floored by that. Our total street exits for the year was 267, so, I'm going to verify those numbers for you, Kathy,
Okay.
because what I'm thinking that might actually be is we track our street exits, we also track year-to-date, and then we also track from the beginning of the SWAG contract,
Okay.
which actually would be like 2 years now.
Okay.
So let me just dig into that and make sure I've got the right
Okay.
numbers.
That seemed really high.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you asked that question.
So,
I mean,
I was either deeply impressed or confused. So thank you. I'd appreciate that. I appreciate the work that SWAG is doing out there. I hear a lot of good stories. So thank you.
yeah, thank you.
The second thing I just wanted to bring up, I know we've mentioned the library before, and just sometimes a concern of maybe the quality of services that the outside company is providing. I found out this during break. I decided to get some ebooks, and I logged into Libby, which is the ebook service that the Riverside County Public Library System was using to provide the ebook services. And I got notified when I opened the app that, well, your library system isn't serviced anymore. So I had to go and figure out who's providing the services. So there's a new service for Riverside County Libraries. I think it's Cloud Reader, something like that. And what I noticed was not as great of selection of ebooks. I was disappointed. San Diego County actually will give anybody with a phone number a card, so I'm still able to use the service through San Diego County, the
Okay.
Libby. But I was just kind of, I was disappointed in the quality of the new service.
Thank you for letting me know. I'll share that with our CLS. That's valuable
Yeah,
feedback.
yeah. So just wanted to share that with you.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty,
'Cause
let's,
Just to jump in, I
Yes.
tried the same thing. I thought that they would have Libby also, because that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty widely standard application for ebooks with the library, and yeah, that, you can't do it in Temecula.
yeah. And the Libby
Oh.
also has magazines. I know, thank goodness my husband stopped subscribing to magazines and he was using Libby for all of that. And I didn't notice the same amount of periodicals, or if there were any periodicals in the new one. It looked like it was just ebooks. And one of the things I noticed, I was looking for books by Simon Sinek. He has a very
Oh, yeah.
top book, Start With Why. And San Diego County through Libby, you can get that. They had a good number of his books. Really common author.
Yeah, I mean, he's a
And-
bestseller.
And this
yeah.
new one only had like 2 of his books.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Leaders Eat Last. And so it was just like, okay, you didn't have some of the most common popular ones of this author. So it was a little bit like, oh. It just felt like the service was not as good as what we had before.
Thank you. That's valuable. I appreciate that.
So, thank you. All right. Did you have something, Gary?
Well, yeah, when you're digging in, I mean, my biggest concern would be, is that another budget cut based on our private management system? So I just want to know if that is a result of the system when we get that information.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to our cultural arts report. And we have Bea Barnett here with us tonight to deliver that report to us.
Good evening, commissioners, colleagues, and community. I'm Bea Barnett, a Community Services Superintendent, providing the Cultural Arts, Workforce Development, and Inclusive Services report. The Temecula Valley Museum hosted 1,430 patrons in the month of December, and that's a 112% increase over December of 2022, so that's a 17.4 increase. The rug hooking for the holidays exhibit returned from the North County Wool Gatherers, and they are a local chapter of the Association of Traditional Hooking Artists based in Fallbrook. If you didn't get a chance to see it in person, there's a lovely photo stream in the report as well as on our Flickr account. Christmas Around the World was the theme for our monthly Culture Day celebration. We celebrated 10 countries over the year, this year, 2023, so we kind of recapped several of the countries that we profiled, and 300 guests were in attendance. The Temecula Art Mural Project unveil showcased Kai and Chloe Parker, the father-daughter duo. The left side of this amazing drawing was one artist, and the right side was the other. You may know their whimsical style because they each have a public utility art box, the Ducks and Temecula Land. So they have an exquisite style that's appreciated, and Tony Maramarco oversees that under the direction of the ACE team at Temecula Valley Museum. Upcoming in January is a new exhibit, Black and White in black and white. It's going to run from January 12th through March 24th. It's Images of Dignity, Hope, and Diversity in America, with a collection of captured images from 1910 through 1915 by John Johnson. The exhibit event, Meet the Curator, will happen on Saturday, January 20th, with Douglas Keister describing his 50-year journey of research in African American history and photos. Temecula Culture Day will celebrate on February 10th the culture of Vietnam. The gallery showcases continue with Ronald H. Roberts Public Library, Civic Center Gallery, and the gallery at the Merck, and the Rotunda Gallery showcase the Christmas presented by the Temecula Valley Women's Club annually. Social media highlights are that we surpassed our 10,000 follower on Instagram mark. We've had a total views for December of 54,074. And our team is just above and beyond. They created 74 Instagram Reels and received over 915,000 Instagram Reel views, and 3 of the Reels actually went viral, getting 100,000 views each. Jeff and his team have also released 6 new episodes of Park Adventure series available online. Inclusive Services has been very busy with several parties. High Hopes celebrated in December at the Mary Phillips Senior Center, as well as SKIP. 100 participants and 35 participants at each event. And the Youth Advisory Council participated in a disability etiquette and sensitivity training. They are a group of youth that gather monthly and put on great events for inclusive services. And then the Margarita Recreations ribbon cutting, our soft opening, was held on Thursday, December 14th. The long-awaited MRC included 100 city staff dignitaries and Temecula Elementary School guests in attendance. Thanks to Director Rousseau for an outstanding MC, and our Mayor Schwank, Mayor Pro Tem Stewart, and Council Member Kalfas were all speaking at the event. And it's all possible because of Director Thomas and the Public Works team for their hard work and dedication. A highlight was unveiling the dedication plaque for Liam's Place. And the goal for the new facility is to bring all walks of life together to enjoy a wide range of activities, programs, and services that are important to the quality of life for all our residents. The mosaic is an original artwork created by Troy Follansby from Barcelona Mosaics. She's done many projects for the city of Temecula, and what's lovely about it is that it was inspired by the name Margarita means daisies, so there are several daisies that the community put together. You can see Troy on the left and Mayor Schwank on the right. And then there are engraved words and even Braille, and then that spells out community at the top, and it's got a beautiful great oak tree. So it's just, the detail is incredible. The photo stream, you'll be able to zero in on every single blade of grass. It's just a spectacular public art piece that we're very proud of. The senior excursion went to Julian. Since it was so popular, the Human Services Shuttle took 2 days. They did 2 different outings because there's always such a waiting list. They also attended the Western Eagle Foundation, so the seniors could go shopping before the holidays. And then the Senior Center is always a warm center. In the beginning Friday, December 1st, it kicked off the season, and that's for anyone in need of temporary relief from the cold when it drops below 40 degrees. The Mary Phillips Senior Center hosted the Christmas movie matinee, Fun Christmas Story, Fun Friday, and then the Christmas lunch was held on December 21st. Mayor Schwank was there, as well as 3rd District Supervisor Chuck Washington, who generously donated 100 Stater Brother gift cards. Thanks to Director Russo and Commissioner Kingsburg for their support at the event, as well as the Rotary Club of Temecula with Santa Dale. Finally, at Workforce Development, we had 174 participants at the annual Young Women's Career Conference on Wednesday, December 6th. Brought together 120 Temecula Valley High School girls and 15 dedicated female mentors. The breakfast was provided by Eat Marketplace, and Randy Joel led our panel discussion, our very own city clerk. The youth innovators meet Wednesdays from 4:30 to 5:30, and these are a list of the events that they plan annually. And then we had 12 interns during the month of December in community services, economic development, and emergency management, and in the city manager's office. I just very proud of the fact that many of our interns and the fellowship program go on to become fully employed either here at the city or in other companies. So the time and experience and networking and reference that we're able to provide launches many careers. So that concludes our report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Bea. It's always a joy to have you deliver the report to
My
us.
pleasure.
We appreciate you being here tonight. All right, we'll go ahead and start with Commissioner Hawks.
Thank you, Bea, for your report. I was at the rug hooking. I met the lady who's setting up. I learned a few things about rug hooking. And I also participated Christmas Around the World. I'm very happy to see the number went up 17%. I look forward to this year's event, and I hope that we will see more participants in those lovely culture events. And I wouldn't know if you didn't mention that the whimsical Santa was painted by two sides, by father and daughter. I can't tell, but they're very talented. And it's a joy to be at the MRC ribbon cutting with my fellow commissioners and with all the dignitaries, and especially the former Mayor Mike Nagar and Liam for their plaque unveiling. It was very moving to see that pool dedicated to that use. So again, just a great job to our team, and I look forward to another successful year.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very inspiring to hear Liam sing for us as well.
Mhm.
That was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hawks. Commissioner Castro.
Thank you for the report.
Thank you.
Your voice is very soothing.
I have a face for radio.
I think you do very well, like on the subway. The train is arriving.
Yeah, oh, good. Yeah, I can say it in Spanish too. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
I'm glad to see how much opportunity there is for local artists to, that the city supports them to provide opportunities for them to demonstrate their art. I did have a question about the warming center.
Yes.
What's usually the level of usage of that?
It's minimal, however, now with these cold spells, I suspect it will increase, but we do get the occasional, visitors, and it's tracked for the county.
Okay.
But it's minimal. Usually the hot center or the cool center is more actively participating.
And this is only during the day.
Yes,
Oh.
during operating hours.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's worth noting also that although it's not officially a warm center or cool center, our library ends up being a de facto warm and cool center, because a lot of people who are experiencing either they don't have shelter or they don't have utilities, for whatever reason they're not able to be warm or cool at home, they end up at the library. You know, it's comfortable, it's spacious, they can spend the day there, they have internet access, and it's open, later. So I think it's just an important trend also to understand in terms of how public libraries are being used and how they're serving the community, not just here in Temecula, but overall.
I've read some really interesting articles about about that change in the public libraries and how it's just really becoming a central hub for cities, because people are using it for heating, for cooling, for internet, for so much.
And they
Very
have
interesting.
extended hours beyond the
Yeah.
8 to 5 that the senior center's open.
Thank you. Commissioner Kingsburg?
Yes, thank you, Bea, for the report. Good to hear about the museum and the numbers being up there substantially. That is great. And I am personally very interested in the coming exhibit, the photos. Looking forward to getting over and seeing that this month for sure. And then finally, the Young Women's Career Conference. I know that had been come up before at some point, but I'm, hey, as a father of daughters and a grandfather of a granddaughter, I support that 100%. And more importantly, I love seeing the interface and connections with our schools. I think it's really good for students to get over to the city and see what the city's all about, because we do so many great things. It just brought back memories for me back to when I was a government teacher, and we had the Youth and Government Day, and we came over here and did the mock city council meeting, and the kids just get so much out of that type of stuff. So I just would encourage us to keep those things happening. I mean, those 100 plus young women that came over here, I'm sure it was a great experience for them. Thank you.
It was so nice to jump in. Erica was one of the mentors. I had been a mentor prior, and I wasn't this year, but one person didn't show up, so I was able to jump in, fill that gap like the understudy. And when we switched tables, my next table was the chaperone table. So I got to hand out my card, meet and greet all the moms and the teachers, and make further connections that we can then provide public servants to outreach directly into the schools and be able to, because they asked me, they're like, oh, can you come and speak at Career Day? And it's like, absolutely, I'd love to, it'd be great. So beyond the one annual event, now we have connections for the future.
Thank you, Commissioner. And Vice Chair Audi?
Thanks, Bea, for everything you do
Thank
for arts
you.
and culture. Great report. And I think to piggyback on Commissioner Kingsburg, I commented on it last meeting too about the intern program and the things we do to teach our youth about community service. Sometimes they get bogged down on getting their service hours or getting something on their resume, but you're actually getting them to buy into what we do here is serve the community. So thank you.
Yeah, the mentors that were at the event, some of them are repeats that we see every year, and they're very inspiring. And from them all, it's like, I know them, they've mentored me, they've mentored my children. It's that small town feel where we have all this talent in our community and we're tapping into it, and multiple generations are benefiting from it. So it's very rewarding to just be present there. It's recorded normally, so that should be available to view online as well.
Thank you very much. And I will just say, the Wonderland mural, beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. I love the father has a very angular, straight lines, daughter very curvy, but their styles just blended together so well. It's just beautiful mural. Really enjoyed getting to go out there. And I love our mural unveilings, that we really get to have an opportunity to talk with the artists and get to understand their vision behind it. And again, the rec center, absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And love the mosaic there. Just, what a treat to live in a city that values art like we do. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty, let's move on to our consent calendar. We have one item on the consent calendar tonight, which is to approve our action minutes from our December 11th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve.
A motion from Kingsburg. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second from Commissioner Hawks. Tracy, would you go ahead and take a vote?
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Hawks,
Aye.
Commissioner Kingsburg,
Aye.
Vice Chair Audi,
Aye.
and Chairperson Sizemore.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. And we have one item on our business calendar tonight, which is the selection of our chair and our vice chair for calendar year 2024. We'll go ahead and open that for discussion or for motion.
Before we vote, I want to give some input so that we can have a discussion and not rush into voting. So I've observed from other commissions that different commissioners rotated in and out of those two positions based on their seniority. However, for our commission, that both Chair Sizemore and Vice Chair Audi have stayed in the same positions for 2 years in a row, and the rest of us have given full support. Last year, Vice Chair Audi deferred the opportunity to move up to be chair when he had the chance. Therefore, it's fair and reasonable that we give other commissioners a chance to move into those roles so we can all serve the commission in a new capacity. I'm next in line regarding seniority, and I have been active in serving our community in the last 2 years. Temecula values equity and diversity. I want to see our commission set an example in implementing those values. I'm willing and able to serve as a chair, and I kindly ask that one of my fellow commissioners to nominate me as chair.
Do we have any other discussion that we want to participate in? Do we have any motions?
I'll go ahead and comment, since I think it was suggested to have a discussion after hearing Dr. Hawks had to say. Yeah, I mean, I think Kathy and Gary have fulfilled these positions well and represented the council, represent our commission in a great way. I do, philosophically at least, and this is, again, no slight at either of you in any way, philosophically, I'm kind of at a place where I do feel like there are good reasons to give other folks opportunities and move people into these roles. I think it builds capacity for our commission, and I think it provides growth opportunities for our commissioners. I'm pretty sure, I don't know everybody that well, but I'm pretty sure that all of us have held leadership positions. We've either been chairs of various groups. Some of us have held president positions, other administrative roles and quasi-administrative roles. Some of us have served as MCs of various events. I know I was asked to do the art contest, and I served as MC of those awards this year when asked to do so. I also, again, only haven't been here a year, but I do believe that all these commissioners, all 5 of us, have proven to be committed to the role, and to the body, and to promote our city in a positive way. I don't believe there's been any dereliction of duty or any ignorance toward fulfilling our duties or responsibilities. So, I mean, philosophically, that's where I am. I'm open certainly to hearing what other people have to say. I mean, these are 1-year terms. They're not 2 or 3 year terms. I believe Dr. Hawks might have mentioned other examples. And I know the city council generally, I think there was one exception, the COVID year, the mayor doesn't serve for multiple years, a 3 to 5 year period. That was the one exception, I believe, where a mayor served 2 years. And then I'm also looking at where we are right now as a commission. I feel like we're in a really good place. I understand there certainly could be a line of thinking to go, hey, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I get that. But also last year, Commissioner Castro and I came in here pretty green the first night. right? We had a big training in the afternoon, and we sat down, and here we are. Here's our stuff, and here we go. And now, you know, we've done 12 of these and been at events, and it feels like it's a little different situation, you know, this year. And then the last thing I thought of is that, well, if we just continue with the same leaders this year, is the intent to continue that the following year and then the following year after that? You know, at what point do you, you know, mix things up or give other people opportunities? So, you know, that being said, since Dr. Hawks kind of gave a very clear thought to her intent, I'm not personally necessarily lobbying for the chair or even vice chair position. I will say, though, if my colleagues felt that I was the right person for either of those roles, I would probably graciously accept, and if not, that's okay too. So that's kind of where I am. You know, I have a calendar, like all of you do. I've made some other commitments. I'm still coaching my basketball team at Great Oak High School. I have about another month left of that, you know, before I'm able to reshuffle some things, so that puts a few limits on me. You know, I have family out of state, and I have been able to work around that certainly this year, and expect I would be able to, you know, in the future. But again, I'm not speaking really from a personal point of view. I'm speaking from more of a philosophical point of view as far as, you know, what I think's healthy for the commission and perhaps, you know, for the city as well. But again, however it works out, you know, Kathy's done an outstanding job and been a solid leader, and Gary, you know, Gary's reputation in the community is incredible. It always has been. It always will be, and he brings a lot of wealth of experience to this. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I could ramble on and on, but I've done enough of that. So thank you.
Thank you.
I've never gone through this. Can somebody give me a quick overview of how this process works?
Well, right now, we're just participating in a discussion, and somebody, one of us would make a motion for someone that we would like to see in one of those roles, and we might further discuss that, see if someone seconds it, and then we'd go for a vote. You know, I'd love to see Gary take over as chair if he was open to it.
I'll go ahead and speak to that right now. Unfortunately, I would not be able to fulfill the duties of that position with the other things I've got going on right now.
Okay.
So we can eliminate that thought from the discussion, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I would love to, I've been very impressed with Commissioner Kingsburg and his thoroughness in his support for all the avenues of what community services is. So I would love to see him in one of the two roles. Of course, I'm always open to staying as chair too, if that's what we wanted.
I'll go ahead and just say that, you know, based on the discussion, I agree with Commissioner Hawks and Commissioner Kingsburg that this is kind of a tradition of commissions and council to rotate those positions on an annual basis. But I know on this commission, there have been a few examples of commissioners staying in place for several years. So I wouldn't want to use that as the determination that, okay, it's time to rotate out. But I do think that on a scale of, you know, all 5 of us being qualified, I think that's true. I would support any of the commissioners to have the ability to step up to either of these 2 positions. So I just want to, as we move forward, I just want to let you all know that that's kind of where I am too, and I know at some point we're going to have to bring somebody forward, so that's kind of where I'm sitting right now, and maybe that helps you out too, that it's not a done deal that you have to, rotate, or that, just because you have the most experience, you get to be there, or you're the most senior. That's not it. It's an actual, go through the process and find out who's willing and, select the person who will best serve our commission.
That's I want to say that. That's why I said I didn't want to say too much. So I said I just want to let all my fellow commissioners know that I'm willing to take on the role. But also I see that City Council appointed us. It's a three-year term for commissioner, but it's among us that we vote for chair and vice chair. So it's not, if the council wanted this role to be a 3-year role, then they would have appointed chair and vice chair when they interviewed us. So I see we are moving forward, and also I think it's important for the city to training up new leaders, and so have other, like Commissioner Kingsburg also said he's willing to take on the role. And then if we're willing to take on a role, I would like to have a chance for those who are willing to step up to take the role. It doesn't mean that's going to be a disruption. We're still going to continue in the same direction of the commission.
And again, I think I explained where I was at fairly clearly. If I was to be in one of these positions, I definitely would need to know that, I had a vice chair, who I would be able to cover for me a couple times, because that's probably a pretty good likelihood especially until I'm able to get a schedule, my schedule, revised. So that is a consideration, for me. Just, I want to be honest about that. But again, however it plays out, I think we'll be in good hands. As a team, I think we can continue to work together, no matter who's in the chair seat.
So do we have any motions? We've had a lot of discussion.
Well, I think there's a consensus that we're hearing at least strongly from 2 members that they'd like to have an opportunity, to have someone else on the commission have an opportunity. So what I will do is, in respect to Commissioner Hawks, you're an amazing commissioner, and I can't imagine having the energy you have to get to so many things, and just really appreciate your effort and your willingness to take this position serious and help the community. But I have a history of watching Commissioner Kingsburg in leadership roles, and I've seen him be very successful in those roles, so I would like to put forward Jeff's name for chair of this commission.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second that.
Okay. Tracy, would you go ahead and do a vote?
Yes, so we have a motion by Commissioner Audi and a second by Commissioner Castro to appoint Commissioner Kingsburg as the chairperson. I'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
Commissioner Hawks?
Aye.
Commissioner Kingsburg?
Aye.
Vice Chair Audi?
Aye.
And Chairperson Sizemore?
Aye.
All right, the vote reflects unanimous approval to appoint Commissioner Kingsburg as our new chairperson.
Okay, and next is our vice chair. Do we have a motion for vice chair for the commission?
I'd like to make a motion for Commissioner Hawks to be the vice chair.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right, Tracy, would you go ahead and take a vote?
Yes. So we now have a motion by Commissioner Castro and a second by Commissioner Kingsburg to appoint Commissioner Hawks as our vice chairperson. I'll take a roll call vote again. Commissioner Castro?
Aye.
Commissioner Hawks?
Aye.
Commissioner Kingsburg?
Aye.
Vice Chair Audi?
Aye.
And Chairperson Sizemore?
Aye.
The vote reflects unanimous approval to appoint Commissioner Hawks as our new vice chairperson.
Okay. We will-
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's go ahead and swap.
Oh, yeah, I gotta move. I know, you voted me out of. I'm tired of you.
Just so you know, the purse doesn't come with it. I'll be back.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we ready to move on? All right, thank you. So that leaves us to the director report, please.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year, and congratulations to our new chair and vice chair. Very nice to have you here in these new roles. First up on the report, Commissioner Sizemore, I just wanted to let you know I clarified those homeless outreach numbers, and it was, as we thought, 96 year-to-date, 297 since the inception of the SWAG contract. And we track that second number mainly because it marked a shift in how we approach outreach when we hired a professional contract organization to do outreach. So we track to the inception of their contract, which I think has been just over 2 years now. So thank you for catching that, though. I brought it up to staff, and they will correct that. They just used the wrong wording on the slides. Other than that, I just wanted to thank Ms. Tominez for her wonderful report on our events. As she did, we will be having somebody from staff coming into every meeting this year, reporting out on different aspects of our operations and what we're doing. Like we mentioned, next month will be the MRC opening report out. That whole process has been delayed somewhat. Our team just found out that they won't be able to even get access to the building until at least mid-January. So the process has been delayed, but we are making progress, which is really what we're looking for here. So we look forward to having Yvette here next month to speak to that. I think that wraps it up. As you've seen, the skating rink is coming down. The roads should reopen on Friday. So yay, all those frustrated drivers in Old Town will be very excited to have the roads reopening. And then we will be resuming our Wednesday night markets here in February on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays.
Yes, so our first one will be a special Valentine's Day themed on February 14th.
Love it. So that concludes my report unless anyone has any questions for me.
Thank you, Director Russo. Does anyone have any questions for the director?
I do. What was the level of usage with their, or participation with the skating rink this year? Was that
Oh, that's a
same
great
or
question.
more,
Tracy,
or-
what do you think?
Every time I looked out there, it was always busy. We do often will reach out to Ice America to get their report for the season, but I think with the way the weather has been, they didn't have as much rain as previous years, so it always seemed very popular.
And I had another question and I forgot. I don't
All right.
I'll remember.
Well, maybe you'll remember next month. Never too late. Okay, thank you, everyone. That takes us to our commissioner reports. And I know Commissioner Sizemore, I just want to call you Chair Sizemore, you always were going last, so I'm going to actually start with you, and we'll go with you, and then now Commissioner, not Vice Chair Audi.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. I'm happy to see you in the role, Jeff. I don't have much to report. I've shared the things that I wanted to share about the library, and thank you, everybody. Had a great holiday. Enjoyed the parade. That was a always fun tradition. And I'm going to admit that it was cold for New Year's, and we were in a heated game of Catan, so I didn't come to the grape drop, but I did pull it up on the Temecula app, and I looked at the town center cam, and I got to watch it from the warmth and comfort of my own home. So thank you.
Commissioner Adi?
Thank you, Chair Kingsburg. Want to start by congratulating the two of you again. Appreciate your willingness to take on the extra time for that in that position. And I would like to also just take a minute to thank Commissioner Sizemore for her service in that position over the last couple of years. Chair Sizemore, since she came on, has just been a stellar commissioner. She is an example of service to the community. She has represented every aspect of community services, and she is knowledgeable about most everything in the community services. So she, like some of us who might be focused on, narrower approaches, she has had that broad spectrum of knowing the entire division. So I just want to thank her for all that she's done in her time, and it was an honor serving as your co-chair. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Adi. Commissioner Castro?
I'd like to echo Gary's comments. Thank you very much for everything you've done as the chair. We always talk about the small town feel and how Temecula operates, and you can't have a small town operating and feeling good if you don't have people volunteering and doing a lot of the work, and thank you very much. I did remember my question. We had done a few recognitions for like this baseball and softball, and is there any more of those planned?
That's a great question. I don't have any on my radar at this point. Have you heard of any, Tracy?
I haven't heard of any, but we can definitely reach out to our fellow divisions when we're looking to have presentations to see if they have any like local sports leagues to recognize. So we'll definitely keep that in mind.
In terms of sports, we're kind of in a slow season right now. We tend to get those recognitions at the end of the fall season and spring season, depending on which sports are being played. So
I just used the sports as an example. I mean, any recognition. I really like when we have those, and I think it means something to the people that are able to come and be recognized. So, and really support those. I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Castro. Vice Chair Hawks?
Thank you, and I just want to say also thank you, outgoing Chair Sizemore and Commissioner Aldi, still calling Chair Sizemore. So for your service in the last 2 years, and congratulations, and I look forward to working with you under your leadership. And I was also at the Temecula on Ice opening, and it was really great also. Chair Kingsburg, you were there. And I drove around to look at the holiday lights, and my favorite was Jolly Neighborhood in Harveston. Again, I was at Grape Drop and MRC ribbon cutting, so it was a busy month again, like Commissioner Aldi, you said that I will continue to strive to serve this commission in whatever roles that my fellow commissioners entrusted to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hawks. As far as my report goes, I've mentioned a few things. It was nice to see most everyone and pretty much the whole city staff at the Margarita Recreation Center. I guess it was a pre-grand opening with city staff, but obviously a very impressive structure, and it was really a nice event. And again, I did see Vice Chair Hawks at the Temecula on Ice. Got a chance to talk to the ice rink company a little bit and met a former student from Chaparral I used to teach, and actually a neighbor up the street. And so it's just neat seeing all the people who have stayed and become part of our community and are still investing in our community in different ways. That was quite a nice event. I wasn't able to stay too long. I believe I had a game to coach down at Great Oak that night. But I have to say, with the ice rink there, and I've been by the ice rink before, I've never actually gotten out there and tripped over my own feet, which is what I would do if I got out there on ice skates. But it was just spectacular view as the sun was going down. And so, I mean, just kudos to the city, the planning to create that space and structure. And it's just very clear that ice rink and Temecula on Ice and the Grape Drop have become a huge part of our community service culture. So I really enjoyed just being a small part of that. And then it was mentioned about the senior holiday program. It was nice to get back over to the senior center and just kind of enjoy the music, really. I mean, the choir was fantastic. Just to see the camaraderie and the friendship and the spirit and all that. So, and to be there with supervisor and Washington and Mayor Schwenk, to be there with the dignitaries and see them doing their good work with the community as they continue to do was wonderful. So, as far as reflecting upon being a commissioner now for a year, it's been very fulfilling. I've really enjoyed it. It will be a very difficult act to follow with Chair Sizemore, for sure, as serving as the chair. Again, I didn't really come here tonight to seek the position, but if I'm the person right now, and with your consent, I'm happy to do it. I do want to remind you what I said earlier, that my next 4 or 5 Tuesday nights are committed, so I will not be able to attend a council meeting or represent this commission, and we can follow up at the end, or I can talk with Vice Chair Hawks. But anyway, just getting back to that last year, I've been here, this is my, I think, 37th year in Temecula, or what became Temecula, and I'm more impressed and prouder now, having kind of been in the inside now for a year, as opposed to, the outside looking in. I'm more impressed, and I'm prouder of what we accomplished as a city. And I've also really enjoyed getting to meet so many good people, all of you and all the folks that work for the city. I'm just so impressed with our people. I mean, we seem to hire really talented, bright, energetic, enthusiastic people. And when we invest in people, people get things done. And so I appreciate the investment the city has made in our staff and the work that they do. And I put work in quotes because I'm sure it is work, and there's a lot of hard work that goes on that we don't see. We just get to celebrate with you every month and all the good things you do. But when you love your work and you have a passion for your work, it's not the traditional sense of work, and that's the feeling I get from the people I interact with the city. So I hope 2024 is a great year. I'm sure it will be. And that's all I have to say. So thank you, everyone. We will adjourn this meeting at 7:08 p.m. Thank you.
So before everyone leaves, our first council meeting with a community services report out is tomorrow night.